Hey, Cowfaith family. I hope you had an incredible Easter and you just enjoyed your day of celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Today, we're going to celebrate something much less important, but still fun. Cowfaith is 3 years old today. Crowd goes wild. It's been 3 years. Can you guys believe it? So if you're new, I'm gonna catch up to speed. If you're not new, that's cool. You can always use a recap. I learned that from Netflix. So we're going to do a quick recap and then we're going to go into today's episode. It's the season finale. Okay? So it's going to be a 2-hour special. Not really, but it's going to be a little bit longer. So just stick with me. Bear with me. We're going to get where we're going. Without further ado, previously on Cowfaith. Cowfaith, it is my story. It is what God has done, what God is doing, and what I believe God will do in the future. It's based on the premise that when I was a little girl, I was born and raised on a cattle farm. Was I raised in a barn? Yes. And that probably explains a lot. I was raised in a barn. And some of my early miracles were on cows. I remember being in the field and my dad and my uncle were there and some other people who I may have been related to and may not have. I remember my dad and my uncle. And they all had ropes and they were trying to lift this very heavy cow onto a trailer. I was, I don't know, 3-ish. And I said, Dad, what are you guys doing? Well, we've got to get the cow on the trailer, and its legs broke, so it can't walk. So we got to get it on the trailer without its cooperation. Okay, well, we're just going to pray for it. Like, I was sassy. I am sassy. Sorry, working on it. So I knelt down to this little cow, asked God for it to be able to walk and get on the trailer. Well, no sooner than I said amen, that cow got up, walked on the trailer, and laid back down. True story. Okay, it happened. And the same cow farm, we were having a picnic. Now, on the other side of the field was kind of a cow cemetery. It's kind of where the cows went to, not be cowy anymore. So, we're having a picnic on the other side of the field, and I start heading to the cow cemetery, the graveyard. And my mom said, Tiffany, where are you going? Like, we're eating here. And I said, well, I'm going to go pray for the cows. Now, these weren't just like freshly dead cows. They'd been there a while. They were really, really not alive. Okay? Flies swarming, bones kind of showing through the flesh, smelly, get the picture. Blech, super gross. Well, God could raise the dead, so clearly the only thing I could do was go pray for him. My mom wouldn't let me go, right? Because disease and grossness. And so I said, okay. We went over and we ate. Well, years later, my mom said her biggest regret in life was not letting me go pray for that cow. Because she's like, that cow would have got up and walked. Okay? I know for a fact that I messed up. And she apologized, and it was a whole thing. So, cow faith, right? Faith that brings dead cows to life and heals lame cows and just, the faith that it takes to pray for these impossible things. Mine was with cows. Jesus is with people. His is cooler. I get it. But, just believing for the impossible. That's the premise of Cowfaith. So 3 years ago, I started Cowfaith. I started sharing with people about the dead cows that I was praying for and the times that they got up and walked. Obviously, metaphorically, because my mom would let me pray for the actual dead cow. But I want to do a 3-year challenge. We do 10-year challenges where we show a picture of ourselves 10 years ago and now. Apparently it's been a rough 10 years, so I don't want to do that. But we're going to do a 3-year challenge where I tell you about all the awesome things in my life. And you tell me about all the awesome things in your life. And then we talk about now how those awesome things have developed over the last 3 years. So I'm going to go first. 3 years ago, when I started Cowfaith, we were getting close to the 2 weeks in quarantine, right? COVID had just started. Major bummer. Kind of ruined a lot of things. But this was when we were still naive enough to think that COVID was going to be a short-term event. You guys were all watching a woman who fed a man to a tiger. So entertainment was at an all-time low, and I decided this was my moment to break into showbiz. So I started Cowfaith. I was at the top of my career in the middle of COVID. So that's important. It wasn't just me being at the top of my career. It was me being at the top of the career when a lot of people were being laid off. So, wow, what a miracle. What a blessing. I had incredible coworkers, even though we were essential and socially distanced and everything was hard. We were the team, okay? We were a team. I lived in a beautiful home. I had an amazing support system, people who are constantly around me and just loving on me and encouraging me. I was leading a thriving ministry. I had a clean bill of health, mentally and physically. Incredible parents who were just like rocking it, right? Just crushing everything. They were the spirit of excellence times infinity in everything that they did. Best youth pastors in the world, working 158 jobs, just like really, really making the rest of us look bad. I had met the man I was going to marry, and I was madly, truly, deeply in love. 3 years ago, I started a vlog about faith from all the miracles that a person could ask for. I was living a good life. So, where are they now? Gone. Dead. Literally nothing on my list of things that I loved and cherished 3 years ago are still here. Pastors always tell you not to pray for patience because you'll have to go through some trials to really work that muscle. I was just trying to tell you guys to have faith in God. And I lost everything. I had to switch careers. Had to leave my beautiful home. Lost both of my parents. Lost my ministry. Had to move away from my support system. I lost everything. It has not been a good 3 years. And COVID, okay? 2020 ruined everybody's life. Well, something that else has changed over 3 years. 3 years ago, I would have told you I was a dog person. But I didn't really like cats. Well, now I'm the crazy cat lady. I don't know how that happened. It was like I woke up one day and got a cat, and then I had 18 cats, and I'm like, why are there cats everywhere? I don't actually have 18, but it feels like it some days. I'm very much outnumbered. And I will say these cats are expert hide and seek cats. If they don't want to be found, you will not find them. Now, guys, the only thing worse than being the crazy cat lady is being the crazy imaginary cat lady. Okay? Because people will come over to the cat lady's house, and if you go to the cat lady's house, you expect to see cats. Not in my house. My cats do not do new people. So if someone comes to this crazy cat lady's house, they go into hiding, and I can call, and I can beg, and I can bribe them with treats, and I can look under every single rug. I can look in every cabinet. I can turn the house upside down looking for these felines, and I assure you, we're not going to find them. They are going to remain in hiding until they are confident that this person is gone and it is safe to come out. It does not matter how much I beg, how much I say, Oreo, please come here. You're making me look crazy. Okay? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Tika, Jesus, where are you guys? These people expect to see cats, and you're nowhere to be found. That's sort of how I've been talking to God for the last 3 years. I know there are cats in this house. I have seen them. I have felt them. I have experienced them. I have heard them. I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there are cats. I don't know where they are. I don't know why they are not showing themselves, but I know there are cats. I know there's a God. There's a good God. There's a good God who loves me and wants what's best for me and can answer all of my prayers. I know he's there. I don't know where he is. I don't know why you can't see him in my life. Cats live here, okay? And I got real defensive over the last 3 years because people are like, I thought you were the crazy cat lady. Where are your cats? They live here. All right? There are cats. Sorry, getting a little heated. But the same is true with God. Here I am. I'm the Cowfaith lady. And I start Cowfaith so I can tell you guys about all the awesome things that God is doing in my life. And I lose 100% of them. Everything is gone. Everything is dead. It will never be the same as it was when I started Cowfaith. Where are the cats? Where is God? I'm looking. I'm seeking. I know that God can cure cancer. But my mom's gone. I know that the Bible says that no weapon formed against me will prosper. But a medical accident takes my dad. The joy of the Lord is my strength. But I'm too depressed to get out of bed. The Lord's my healer. But I'm on a slew of medications, and I'm having to go in for testing because there's a lump in my breast. I'm called to go and make disciples. But I've lost my ministry. Christians are supposed to be the hands and feet of people. But church hurt is real. I've never doubted God. I know cats live here. But where are they? See, when my dad died, so did I. I grieved my mom. I lost my best friend when my mom died. But then, a year later, he takes my dad. He takes my ministry. He takes my health. I'm about to start a new career. What is happening? Why can't I make this happen? Because if there's a problem with God and me, it's me. I'm the problem. God doesn't change. God still loves me. He's still good. But for whatever reason, I can't find him. I'm looking. I want to show you my cats because I'm the crazy cat lady and I'm very proud of them. But I don't know where they are. I don't know what to tell you. I lost my hope, my joy, my parents, my career. The people who should have defended me cried out to crucify me. Pilate knew that Jesus should be released, but he didn't stand up and say anything. He just washed his hands and let it happen. That's what happened to me. Listen, God, not to tell you how to do your thing and tell your story, but your ending sucks. Like, it's the worst. You did not do good. Okay? You did not crush this one. I like the stories where the cancer is healed. I like the stories where depression turns into joy. I like the stories where things are at their bottom, but God. But I'm just kind of at the bottom. You know, I know life has ups and downs, but I ain't having ups. Okay? Like, we missed half of this. In my death, in my pain, while I was laying there in my dad's tomb with him, God said, don't give up. It's not over. And I said, no, it's over. I'm done. I am done. I want no part of this. I don't want to be alive. There's nothing that I can do. There is no reason for me to be here. So if this party's over, pick me up and take me home, because I am not having a good time. I do not want to be alive, and I need you to make that happen. Don't give up. I need you. I need you here. I don't want to go there. I need you here. You got to go here. This is the church where you need to be. This is the ministry you need to be in. This is the career that you need to have. I need you to get up. Told my brother, I said, you know, I feel like I'm supposed to go to church, but I can't. Because I'm dead. And I don't want that to be my first impression. I don't want people to look at me and see that I'm dead. Because I'm the Cowfaith girl. And I don't want to be alive. How did we go from there to there? I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I was humiliated. I was an imposter. So I talked a big game. I got my tissues here. If you all ever need to pause and go get yours, feel free. We'll cry together. I was a fake. Because I told everybody to pray for dead cows. And I didn't see any dead cows walk. I joined them in their graveyard. I was the dead cow. Well, my baby brother said, you know, you gotta be careful. Because what you're saying to me right now is you gotta get yourself cleaned up before you can do what God's told you to do. I'm pretty sure you've preached against that your whole life. Don't you hate it when your baby brother makes sense and calls you out like that, like, rude. So I went where I thought God was telling me I needed to be. I was still dead, but I sat there. And I did my best. My body was keeping me alive. It was my life support. And then the Sunday before Thanksgiving, Jesus called me out of my grave. Now, much like a teenager on the last day of a youth conference, I rose, but I did not shine. Okay? Like, rise and shine is not a thing. I was mad. Should I have come out of that grave rejoicing? Because I was a dead cow. And now I'm a live cow. That's a miracle. No. I was so deep in the pit of despair that I couldn't even celebrate. I was ticked. I was mad. I was like, no. I said I wanted to die. I didn't want you to fix it. I wanted it to end. But just like Lazarus, just like Jesus, when things are resurrected, they're still in the grave clothes. So, alive, but refusing to come out of my grave clothes, they asked if anybody would chaperone the youth trip. Well, stupid me. Youth ministry is a mental disorder. I will stand by this. I have that mental disorder. I said, I can take a car. I'll drive. Okay. At Christmas, I announced that the word of 2023 was going to be resurrection. Because I was going to start the process. I was resurrected the Sunday before Thanksgiving. Even though I sat in the tomb and pouted, I said, 2023, we're going to resurrect everything that's been lost. It's all going to come back. Somehow, some way, there's going to be some good that comes from this. Because you promised that you would make all things work for good. And you gotta do something, because, this is all bad. And on December 28th, so Christmas, the word for the year is resurrection. December 28th. I drove some kids to see some Christmas lights, and I ate dinner with them. And I saw a generation that is far too precious for me to not give everything I've got. I saw people who were way too important for me to sit there in my grave clothes. I was loosed from my grave clothes that night. During this time, I had made a list of impossible prayer requests. Those Cowfaith prayer requests. Those things that just absolutely were not going to happen. And I put it in a drawer. And just like the men on the road to Emmaus, just like Mary Magdalene, after the resurrection, they didn't recognize Jesus. They were telling them all about the fact that Jesus had been killed, They were explaining the scenario. But they didn't recognize him. I had prayed for healing. I had prayed for resurrection. I had prayed that my parents' ministry would continue. I thought I hadn't got it. But like the song says, Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. I didn't recognize God, but He answered every single one of those prayers. Because He answered it through me. Because I was dead, but now I'm alive. I didn't like that the healing and the resurrection didn't come from my parents. I didn't like that my parents' ministry didn't continue with them, but it had to continue through me. But every single prayer was answered. Recently, I pulled that list out of the drawer. I was cleaning, moving. Every single one had either happened or is about to happen. Those were impossible. Those were my big dreams. And I know it wasn't me, because I was laying in the bed crying. I was depressed. And I was in mental anguish. And I couldn't do anything to help anybody, much less myself. God did all that without me. And I had to repent. Because what could we have done if I had been participating and hadn't been needing to be doctored? What would have happened if I hadn't been the dead heifer? But the thing is, God showed me why I went from the little girl who was so full of faith that she didn't even question whether or not God could raise that dead cow to the dead cow. Because the little girl let somebody tell her no. The little girl listened when people said that she wasn't qualified to be in ministry. The little girl listened when they said that her value was only found in her parents. And now that they were gone, so was her value. So was her worth. The little girl in the story listened. But if it had played out and that little girl had raised the cow, everybody on the farm could have stopped what they were doing. Everybody on the farm could have came and told that cow that it was to sit down and die and to be quiet. And you know what that cow would have done? Moo! It would have kept on going. It would have completely ignored the people that were telling it to die, that were telling it that it was not meant to walk, that was telling it had no purpose and no point in getting up. That cow wasn't going to listen. The little girl listened. But I had to become the dead cow because I'm not going to listen. The same power that resurrected Jesus, the same power that resurrected Lazarus, the same power that resurrected Tiffany Leanne White is inside of me. So, by the power invested in me by the Lord Jesus Christ, I declare that whatever is dead in your life be resurrected, that it come forth from the grave. I speak healing over parts of you that is broken. I command that your grave clothes be loosed. I declare that you are more than a conqueror, and we are going to start a revolution. See, my grave has become my dance floor. My chains that bound me have become my tambourine. The hill that I had to climb up to die on, my Calvary, is now a stepping stone. God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. This season has concluded. We got 999 more hills full of cows. Let's do this. You're going to see me from this point forward not listening when people tell me no. You're going to see me praying for dead cows, things that are impossible, things that have no point, because I was dead and now I'm alive. I was depressed and I am full of joy. I have seen God take the worst 3 years of my life, and I am more convinced now that Cowfaith is alive and well than I ever was when I started this journey. We're going to be praying for dead cows, so bring your oil and join us, or keep walking, because you're going to waste your breath telling us no. The last 3 years, I realized, was Satan being nervous. And you know what? He should be. Moo!